You can't focus on one task for more than 5 minutes. You pick up your phone and then forget why you turned it on in the first place. You struggle to get out of your bed and you live for the weekends. These are all perfectly normal behaviours, right? Well, no, they are not normal. Just because something is common does not make it normal. And in this video, we are heading into I am in control. What is in my internal reflects my external. That is the energy we are embodying, and we are doing that to become the best version of ourselves, because these habits and these behaviors that you are doing right now are not serving you, and they're not allowing you to tap into your fullest potential. And I know that if you are watching this video, and if you have watched my previous videos, then you do want to become better. You don't want to feel tired anymore. You don't want to have to nap. You don't want to have brain fog, to have a short attention span, to struggle focusing on tasks. We have normalized things like painkillers, like fast food, like living in stagnation, like social media, and even things like acne. We've normalized skin complications just because it makes us feel better, when in fact it's time to take control, and it's time to understand that these things are common, yes, and they happen a lot, but they don't have to be your reality. They don't have to be your life, because you can take control and you can change these things. When I started to realize that the acne that I have is actually not normal, it's just something that I have and a lot of people have. It's common, but it's not normal. When I started to understand that this means something is happening in my body, this means I have inflammation, that gives me the power back. That gives me back the control. And that is what I want you to get from watching this video. Whatever you are going through right now, whatever problems, whether it's health, whether it's mental, whether it's physical, I want you to understand that you have the control. Just adding something to this video, I remember so well people saying, can we just normalize acne, or can we just normalize bloating? Can we not just make it normal? And this is the problem. Yes, these things are common, and yes, we want to feel accepted for these things like acne, like problematic skin, but no, we don't want to make these things normal, because the more that we normalize these things, the more that it's acceptable to have inflammation, it's acceptable to be unhealthy, it's acceptable to have these symptoms, when what should be normalized is getting to the root cause of these symptoms and trying to overcome them, and being like, yeah, okay, you have acne or you suffer from this, but you're still amazing. It's nothing about the person that you are. It doesn't make you any less worthy, but let's work on getting to the root cause of this rather than normalizing it. And then, because I remember when I went through a phase of just normalizing my acne, but then realized, well, I'm not happy with my acne, so why am I normalizing it, and why am I pretending that it's okay when actually it's not. It's inflammation and something is happening. And this is also not to say that I don't still suffer with acne. I still do, and I'm still trying to solve this issue and getting help, not just for myself but externally, and with my lifestyle and lifestyle changes, etc. But it's a journey, right? And I know that it's not a normal thing to have, not anymore, not when you're done with hormonal changes and all of these things. So when we start believing that to an extent we can create our reality using our minds, that's when big things will shift. Big freaking things. So I split this video into 3 specific parts, and the first part is victim mentality, the second part is doing a life audit, and the third part is doing what they are not. So we have these 3 specific parts, and then I have some energy hacks that I'm going to share with you, because if you are a tired lady, I don't want you to be that way anymore. I want you to have full energy for life. And the most beautiful thing is being lively and being energetic and having this radiant energy about you. And that is what I want you to get from the video. Victim mentality is waiting for somebody to come and save you from your problems. And this is so detrimental, because we only ever have ourselves. You only have yourself to save. And you are the only person who can save yourself. Have you ever been through a time where you're feeling pretty low and you're feeling sad, maybe about yourself, it could be physically, it could be mentally, and then you try and go to someone for validation. You're like, oh, tell me I look good, or tell me something good, and it just doesn't help. That is because you can only save yourself. I had this realization around 3 years ago in my past relationship. I was having such a shit time. Like, I was having a bad day. And then I got into the car with my boyfriend and I was like, I feel so bad. And he was like, oh, it's okay, telling me all these good things. And I was like, I still feel bad. And then I realized, oh my God, you can't help me. This is crazy. You can't help me. And as much as this was so frustrating at the time, it was actually like a light bulb moment where I was like, if this person that I love so much, if this person who I like value the opinion of, who makes me feel happy, makes me feel loved, can't even make me feel good right now, that's it. It's only me, and it's on myself to make me feel good. So victim mentality is understanding that it's only you, and if you are blaming somebody else for your life circumstances, if you are blaming a situation, a person, your parents, your family, your friends, this is not going to get you out of that situation. If anything, it's just going to dig the hole deeper and you're going to feel worse about your situation. And we don't want this. We want to be able to empower ourselves, to bring ourselves to a place of, you know what, I can change my life. And I'm not going to lie, my loves, a lot of the time I think it would be great if a man with muscles could just come and save me and tell me that everything is going to be okay. I don't have to work another day in my life. And yeah, but if that did happen, I would have to politely decline, because as much as that happened in physical reality, it's not true. That wouldn't actually happen, because nobody can save you. They can save you in this physical reality, yeah, but what about your mental? You would still be in that place of, yeah, but I don't feel worthy, I don't feel confident, I don't feel good, I am less than, you would still feel that way even if somebody outside tried to come and swoop you up and save you from your current reality. So it all happens in here. So if you're waiting for someone now, I'm sorry, but stop waiting and start creating. And that's not to say that your friends and your family can't help you. People can definitely help you, but they cannot save you. I have a short video on victim mentality, which I know you loved. So if you want to know more about victim mentality and how you can overcome it, then you can watch that quick video. Doing a life audit. If you want to change your outcome, you have to change your input. Now, a life audit requires you to sit with yourself and get brutally honest about life and about how it's really going. How are you feeling right now? Where are you spending your time? Where is your energy going? And yeah, what's not serving you versus what is really serving you? You know, we don't always have to focus on the bad things when we're doing this. We can actually focus on the things that are serving us. I recommend to split your life into categories. There can be 6, there can be 8 categories. I will put it on the screen now. Split your life into 8 categories and ask yourself these questions. This is a great way to audit your life, because knowing what to change, that's sometimes the hardest thing. Sometimes you're there thinking, something needs to change. Something needs to change about my life because I am not happy. But then if we're just thinking, something needs to change, but we're in it, we're like in this mess, rather than looking objectively, we're never going to realize and know what actually needs to change. But if we zoom out, look objectively, and look at the different areas of our life, ask ourselves these questions, then we're going to understand that, aha, I see, my finances need to change, or where I'm spending my time needs to change, the people I'm spending my time with needs to change, or I'm spending too much time with that person who causes me to feel like this. That needs to change. So please do yourself a life audit. This takes some time, my loves. And when I'm doing these videos, sometimes I feel so annoyed that I am only telling you to do these things sometimes, but it's only because I've done these things and they've really, really helped me, and that's why I want to share them with you. But I know sometimes they can be like, oh, I don't want to do that. But I hope that even just listening to this and watching this might motivate you and might help you with whatever you are feeling right now. But honestly, it is okay, you know, it's also okay to not have a perfect life, and I definitely don't. And even after doing these life audits, I still have things to change, because even after watching one YouTube video and implementing one change in your life, it doesn't mean that everything will change. I'm a really big believer on compound and habits, and every small thing that you do compounds into something greater, something bigger, something better, right? If you do a life audit and nothing shifts and nothing changes, or you make little changes and it feels like nothing is happening, please trust and please stick with it, because everything you do compounds, both the good things and the bad things. You are what you repeatedly do. This phrase can be a reality check. It can be quite scary. It can also be quite powerful. But you are what you repeatedly do. So whether you are eating fast food, eating junk food, you are going to become unhealthy. That is kind of like, what fast food does to you, to your gut, it's a fact. We are becoming more stressed than ever. We have transport, we have food, we have shelter at our disposal, which means that it's very easy to just be stagnant, and it's very easy to just go with the flow and be naive to our health and our well-being. But when we realize that we have to do what the large amount of people aren't doing in order to become the best version of ourselves, in order to break free from what society is telling us is normal. So that's why I'm saying you are what you repeatedly do, because when you start to understand this, then you can make changes. And right now you might be around people who aren't living, the life that you want to live, who aren't living the potential you have. And if you are, then I know it's really hard to become that person when the people around you aren't that person, right? But it's going to be so worth it, because the more that you change, the more that you shift, whether it's energetically, physically, emotionally, mentally, hanging out in new spaces, the more you start to become the person you want to be. For example, I just started boxing. It was on my list for so long. I start small, I go once a week. But it's like slowly I'm feeling, oh my God, I'm someone who does boxing. Once you put the action into these changes that you want to make, you start to become a different person. When I work in cafes, or when I work in co-working spaces, or when I have meetings with certain people, I'm like, oh my God, I am this person now who does these things. This is quite cool. And it can really shift your energetic state because you shifted something in your physical reality. So we have like a weird circle here. Like sometimes it comes from your mental, sometimes it comes from your physical. And it's just knowing what is it that you want to change in your life. Who is it that you want to become? Does this have to start with a physical action that you have to take, or does it have to start with a mental shift? And in my videos, I talk a lot about health, because health is so important. And if you are taking care of your physical health, then that is going to change your life. That is going to change your life because it impacts your mental health. We, as a society, are moving less. We have land to run on, we have gyms basically on every corner, and we have free fitness advice everywhere online. Yet we are the most obese we have ever been. Yet we are the most unhealthy we have ever been. Yet we are living sedentary lives. And yet we are normalizing things that aren't normal. So what's happened? What's going wrong here? It's because doing what I said, like going to the gym and taking care of yourself, it's very easy not to do those things. It's also easy to do those things because society's made it very easy for us, but it's equally as easy not to do these things. So when you have this shift of it's actually very, very easy, but it's also easy not to, then you can choose what your easy is. Choose what your hard is, choose what your easy is. And the most frustrating thing is it's super easy to become a product of your environment, and it's super easy to do what everybody else is doing. So if they're doing something and they're looking like shit, then there's your answer. Don't freaking do it, Be your own person and become the best version of yourself. And whatever you have done up until this moment has been great because it's brought you here. And when we're trying to become this best version of ourselves, right, this future version of ourselves, we have to appreciate our past and understand that she did the best that she could. We love her. We love her. We love our past. In the video, I really wanted to give you some energy hacks because energy is a freaking problem these days. So many people have a lack of energy, and I want to help you because if you feel tired all of the time, if you feel lethargic, if you can't get out of bed in the morning, then you have an energy problem. And I don't want you to have that problem anymore. Sunlight, grounding, movement, and non-processed foods. All of these things are going to give you more energy. So how can you get more of these things into your life, and how can you remove the processed foods? Because this, in my opinion, is what is honestly ruining a lot of society right now, because it's so easy to eat processed food. And yes, today I was eating some biscuits because I haven't had biscuits in so freaking long. So it's like, choose when you want to eat these things versus when you don't, because you're allowed to indulge and you're allowed to enjoy your food, of course. But how can we make our baseline healthy? And how can we make our baseline what a healthy person would do? Because becoming our best version, to me, is also becoming my healthiest version. Because when you're healthy, when you're vibrant, when you're radiating health, you are a much happier person. And I'm sure the best version of yourself is a healthy person. I don't think you imagine the best future version of yourself and she's freaking unhealthy, because that would be strange. I really want you to tell me in the comments, what is normal to you, or what have you thought is normal? But it definitely isn't normal, it's just common. Because for me, it was definitely my skin issues and my acne, and even bloating at times as well. I think a lot of us were told that bloating was very normal, but it's actually a reaction to the food you're eating, and whether that's the actual food in itself or whether that's just the order that you're eating your food, you know? So tell me below, what have you thought is normal but it's actually just common? And let's talk and see if we can help each other out. That brings me to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I upload a video every single Sunday on how to become your future self, how to become the best version of you, and overall just how you can win at life. So I will see you next week. Have a beautiful day, week, month, life.